Input and output operations are a key concept for any programming language. They help you for debugging your code and to print logs for your application monitoring. Hello everyone, my name is Ankur, and today in our series on Python basics, we'll discuss the topic of input and output. In this topic, we'll discuss three things, that is basic input, basic output, and f strings. So let's get started on this video. I'll open my IDE, the PyCharm. I hope you guys know how to use PyCharm. If not, you can go to my previous video uh, for writing your first Python program. So it will help you getting familiar with the PyCharm environment. So here I'll just create a new directory. I'll create a new Python file. First of all, we'll start with input. These are the steps that we'll follow. We'll take input from the console and print it. Okay, so in order to take input from the console, we'll create a variable called name, and we use an inbuilt function called input. So now I'll print this variable called name. Let's run our code and see it working. I'll just right click and run. Now you can see on the console it's asking me what's your name, right? If I just click here, you can see the cursor is blinking. If I just say John, as you can see it has printed John. So what happened here is when the line 4 was executed, it stopped the program and waited for the input to be given through the console. And once I wrote John and entered, it the line number 5 ran here and it printed the output. We can write it in a nicer way. Okay, I think I need to start with the braces. Okay, now as you can see your name is John, it's printing it. So one thing to keep in mind is whenever you are giving an input from the console, by default its type is a string. In order to check that, what you can do, print type name. So here what you are doing is you are using an inbuilt function of Python called type. It will help you to identify the type of your variables. If I just run my program now, you can see it's saying the class is string, so it means the type is string. So if I try to get age as an input, get age as an input from console. So now here you see the age will be stored in the age variable, and I'll just use this functionality, just use tab to complete this line. Now if I run my program, as you can see it ran the line 5 after I entered the name John. It ran the line 6 and then it ran line 8 and it waited for me to give the input because I'm using the input function. So if I just give the age as 20, as you can see now it's printing the age here. But what if I want to increase the age, right? Let's say I want to increase the age by 1 and I run the program. As you can see on the console there is an error. Why is this error? As you can see, can only concatenate string, not int to a string. As I mentioned earlier, any input from the console, the type will be a string, right? So in this case, what we can do here, we can convert the age to an integer using the concept of typecasting. So here I'll just use the inbuilt typecasting function called int. So whatever you put as an argument inside this function will be converted to a integer. All right. So now you can see that squiggly is also gone from here. So it means there is no error. So I'll just try to run my program again. As you can see, now we are able to perform this mathematical operation because age is a integer. To verify it, you can just say print type of age. So now if I run my program, as you can see, the type of age is integer. All right. So this is how you take input from the console and how you make sure you have the correct type to perform your mathematical operations. All right. So let's continue. I'll create another file. We'll discuss the second concept of outputs. I guess you already know how to print an output on the console. It's very simple. You can just say print hello world. If I just right click on the console, you can see hello world is printed here. You can also give multiple arguments to the print inbuilt print function. I'll just, let's say I want to say hello. Instead of writing it as a single string, I can just give comma separated values here. So now if I run it, let me just comment this one out. Now if I run it, you can see the same output is printed here, but now the way of receiving the output is different, right? We are not giving a simple string, we are giving comma separated strings. So the print function has some other ways in which you can play with it. If I just hover over this print function, you can see it's giving me some other arguments also. Not only the values, it's giving me some sep function. It's called separator and end function, right? Not function, sorry, it's an argument. So what I can do, let's try to use them. Let's say I have a list of fruits. We'll make use of separator. Okay, let's say I have a print function and I'm trying to print different fruits. Orange, mango, all right. If I just right click and run it, you can see orange, mango and banana are printed. They are separated by space, right? But if I give the separate function here, not function, it's an argument, and in double quotes I give some value. Let's say I want to say colon, right? If I now run my program, you can see all my values are separated by a colon. And similar to this, there is an AND function which will help you to add anything in the end of the string. I'll use the same example. let's just comment it out. Make use of and argument. So let's say separator we can keep here, we can use them together, and in the end I want to say fruits. Okay, and I want to separate it using comma. So now if I run my program, you can see I have appended this string at the end of our print statement. So this is as simple as that. So let's continue on our third concept of f strings. Okay, and just create a file called f strings. So f strings helps you to write your strings, the outputs, in a readable manner, right? If you see here, this is messy, right? If I want to write a big line, let's say, let's go to other file only. In f strings, let's say name is John, age is 20, and I want to write the output, right? How I will do it? Hi, my name is, okay, it's auto completed. I'll just run it to show you the output. Hi, my name is John. Hi, my age is 20, right? If I want to write it in a single line, that also I can do. I'll just write a comma. As we saw in the previous example, we can give multiple values as an argument to the print function. So you can see, right? And my age is, hi, my name is John and my age is 20, right? But there is a better way to write it using the f strings. So how you will write it is, just write f in front of this, and we will write all of this as a single string. Alright, so here if I just run now, what it will do, it will take name and age as a string, right? So as you can see, my name is name, age is age. We want to put these variable values. So in the f strings, what you can do use curly braces to represent your variables. Okay, so this is a cleaner way to write the output in Python, and you can also perform operations. Let's say I'll use the same example. You want to increase the age, you can perform the mathematical operation here only. Alright, you can see if I just comment out these two to keep our console cleaner. My name is, okay, sorry, my name, okay, so now the output is, my name is John and my age is 22, right? We have performed a mathematical operation here. Similarly, you can say, let's say pi value is 3.1.4159. Let's say this is the pi value, and if I just try to print using the f strings, right, and I will say pi value is, so now it will print this value, right? Pi value is 3.14159, right? What if I just want to print up to 2 decimal points, right? I can just write 2f. Okay, you can see. So this is all for the input output that we wanted to discuss. What I will do, I'll create a readme file in this code repo. I'll call it exercise.md, and I'll add some exercises here so that you can practice input output operations in Python. And if you have any doubts regarding those questions, you can ask me in the comment section, as well as I will put okay, the exercises, what I will do, I'll just put it as a link in the description of the video, so you can ask me questions later.